Hello everyone and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and today we're going to talk about a whole lot of decks as we so often do here on the channel. This is largely a Kid Omega video. We are covering 3 different Kid Omega decks, but we also have our last chance review for Human Torch First Steps. Let's kick it off with the Kid Omega list that I have the most confidence in. This is of course Jet's list with a Black Panther Phoenix Force list, which is a completely wild combination. We'll talk about what Kid Omega is doing in this list and more about it, but for the time being what you need to know is Jet is a top player, often in the top 10 of the Infinite Leaderboard, and plays exclusively variations on Phoenix Force lists. Therefore, it is unsurprising that Elixir and Kid Omega working as a sort of pseudo Phoenix Force is a list that he was able to cook up with and have extreme success. You can find Jet at twitch.tv/Jet13. There are in fact 5 E's in Jet in this instance. We need Phoenix Force, Elixir, Sage, Kid Omega, Cassandra Nova, and Misery for this list. One of those sages should be Cassandra. Luna and Firehair are replaceable with Fantastic and Surge in this list. This is a more expensive deck. We will have a budget list as our main deck of the day, I promise you. Echo is here because Cosmo is a prevalent meta force, and being able to turn that card off is extremely powerful. So that's fundamentally the use of it here. It's okay against Cerebro and other things, but generally what we're trying to do is make sure we don't get our Phoenix Force or Elixir Cosmode. Getting either one of those Cosmode or the Black Panther Cosmode are just absolutely game loss conditions. Kid Omega is here to hit several cards. You can hit Cassandra Nova, even a brought back Cassandra Nova, to give yourself a nice big Kid Omega. Doing that with Firehair in the deck, in play, will give you like 3 triggers of Cassandra Nova right off the bat. You can bring it back still with Elixir and Phoenix Force. -4 to the cards they draw the rest of the game is an extraordinarily powerful place to be in Marvel Snap. Elixir is sort of your backup Phoenix Force, but there's also the turn 6, turn 7, where if you destroy an important card the turn before, you play Elixir first, then Phoenix Force, and you can end up doing things like getting back a Sage and Cassandra Nova, which is an incredibly powerful play. Also incredibly powerful, getting back a Black Panther with either of those 2 cards. It's our goal to do exactly that. Firehair sits on the board and just keeps re-triggering. Getting an extra hit out of Sage and Cassandra Nova is our main goal, but hey, there's worse things than hitting Black Panther. If we hit Black Panther twice, all of a sudden Firehair is a 2/11. If we, i.e. if we destroy Black Panther, we play it and destroy it again, which doesn't happen all that often, but they're going to shang that card reasonably often, leaving us with a powerful thing. That can obviously be more powerful if Firehair has also copied to Cassandra Nova or Sage somewhere along the line. Cassandra's my favorite play with this deck. I don't think she's the best. I think Panther might be better. But doing things like playing Firehair into Cassandra, into Misery is just so strong. -3 to every card they draw. You then bring that card back with Elixir or Phoenix Force. If you can manage to get a Sage destroyed somewhere along the line there and bring both back, you've just cooked. Cassandra ends up obnoxiously huge. Sage ends up obnoxiously huge. Sage you would like to play later, but also when you don't have Cassandra, a perfectly fine backup plan. This is an energy-hungry deck, so you have Magic, who is fundamentally, what she really reads as is have 1 more draw and 7 extra energy for both players. So that is one way to go about making sure your combos happen. The other way is Luna Snow. That's what they're here for. Venom, be careful with your Phoenix Force and Elixir. Don't get rid of your Snowball before you play those cards. You don't want to bring them back. Venom, meanwhile, is obviously just an incredibly powerful destroy card. It keeps the power of whatever it destroys. Amazing with Black Panther, particularly with Firehair out. Kid Omega and Venom work fundamentally the same way in this, except Kid Omega lets you have a smoother cost curve. Phoenix Force, of course, is absolutely insane. You kill a Black Panther, you Phoenix Force it, it's going to come back, then double, then get the +5, a ton of power. You could do the same basic thing with Misery. Misery and Phoenix Force are best frickin' friends. Misery, again, killing Black Panther, killing Cassandra Nova, killing Sage is our goal here. We don't really want to kill Venom. We can in a pinch, but the other 3 are our targets here. Again, we want to double and triple them with Firehair, and then bring them back with Elixir and Phoenix Force. And of course, Black Panther is just the biggest thing. Anyone who has played and seen the original Kid Omega decks back when no one could get the damn card should remember that if you go Kid Omega into Black Panther, and then you follow that up by playing an Elixir, you end up with a 20 power Black Panther in a lane, which is, just a spoiler alert, usually going to win you the game. Once more, please remember to play Elixir before Phoenix Force, because if Phoenix Force brings back the card you destroyed last turn, unless you destroyed both of the cards on the same turn, you will be sad. Black Panther is just a really strong card here. Again, destroying it will double Firehair. If we've already destroyed a Cassandra Nova or Sage when Firehair is of reasonable size, doubling that is a real thing. This deck is an absolute beauty and a monster. I don't know how else to put it. Play it, live it, love it. I think that Jet has absolutely cooked. This is sort of the deck of my dreams when Elixir came out, and I kept saying Elixir's good, Elixir's good, Elixir's good. We just needed Kid Omega for this list. I think that this is absolutely legit. And the stats bear that out at very high infinite, because Jet is again playing in the top 100. I believe he's in the top 20 right now. A 59% win rate in 300 games. That is a big enough sample to be relevant for us. Oh, sorry, we got to go back and look. Please note, we've got Echo, who was a Phoenix. Don't ask, was Firehair. Why originally Firehair is Phoenix. We've got Magic, a Phoenix variant. We've got Black Panther, a Phoenix variant, and of course Phoenix Force. This is a very Phoenixy deck, so I haven't used variants in my decks in a while. But when I realized we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bears the Phoenix Force in it, I felt like I had to. All right, so turn 1 Echo, turn 2 Kid Omega over Firehair, depending on what you have. Sometimes you'll drop Firehair first. Turn 3, we want Cass, because we can immediately go Kid Omega into Cass and destroy Cass, which is a really, really strong place to start. That gives us a very clear Phoenix Force curve. Next up, Luna over Sage over Magic. Then we've got Venom and Firehair. If we played Luna, we can drop both together, which is crazy strong here. We can do Kid Omega with instead here if we play Firehair first with that Venom. We can also just drop a Misery on the Cassandra Nova, especially good if we have Firehair out. We can play Phoenix Force or Elixir, but I try to drop them later. Sometimes we play Luna, and we can drop Panther early and immediately Kid Omega it. Dropping Panther early is not just for Kid Omega, though, because we can still Venom it or Misery it on turn 5 in order to get our combos going. Sage to eat is really good here as well. Phoenix Force, Elixir, or Panther for Kid Omega, Magic sometimes, and we can eat a Sage. I tend to try and avoid playing Magic. It's my backup plan here. Jet plays it more often than I do when using this list. Turn 6, we just want Phoenix Force and Elixir to win the game. Turn 6 or turn 7, we want those two to be our last plays. Sometimes we've drawn a Sage late, and we can use Sage to help power up our board as well. Sometimes we draw a Panther late, and we can play like a play some combinations of other cards with Panther. But Panther and a Elixir works on turn 7 particularly well. So there's just a lot of ways to play with this list. It is a monster. It is not the easiest thing in the world to play, but Kid Omega finally makes this deck absolutely, absolutely sing. Before we get to the deck of the day, the key deck on our videos is always deck 2. We cover at least 3 brand new decks every single day here on this channel. Please hit that sub, like, and comment if you want the best decks before anyone else in Marvel Snap. In addition, we are giving away a Mr. Fantastic First Steps. There will be a community announcement later today. Today, as you're watching, this is my first day of work in Vietnam, but we will do our best to get that community announcement up as soon as possible for our winner of Mr. Fantastic First Steps from last week. If you're wondering about the 5 giveaway winners, please do remember to check out Saturday's video. That's where we released the 5 winners from the first week of the season. Next up, we have Rorm's Destroy meta. So Rorm put together a classic Deadpool Destroy list because Kid Omega and Deadpool have the Dracula Apocalypse synergy, which is to say if you destroy Deadpool with Kid Omega, you don't get the Deadpool's power before it doubles. Deadpool will double first, and then Kid Omega will get that power. So let's say you get Deadpool to 12 power, and then you play it and destroy it with Kid Omega. That is a 25 power now Kid Omega, and then you'll have a 25 power Deadpool to play in the last turn of the game. If you've played enough Marvel Snap, you recognize that you've probably won that lane. So this deck is fundamentally built around getting buffs on Deadpool. Hence we've got Agony, hence we've got Nico, hence we've got Hulkbuster and Mr. Fantastic. If we can get our Deadpool really big, we can win the game with Kid Omega, and then we still have Null, Death, and Venom as other power plays. This one's a beauty. I think Destroy is as good as it's ever been. I've also been playing a non-Kid Omega version of Destroy with Dormammu. Please feel free to hit me up on Discord if you want that one. But I think Destroy is genuinely in the best place it's ever been. We've got Cosmo in the meta, but no armor, and I've just been rocking the face off everything. Rorm is the winner of the second ever Golden Gauntlet tournament. You can find him at twitch.tv/RormPlays. This deck needs Kid Omega, X23, and Nico Minoru. Agony here can be Forge, Mr. Fantastic can be Surge or Forge. Alright, so Deadpool, we want to use Nico to destroy it to get our cards. We want to play Agony on it to make it big, along with Hulkbuster, the Nico buff, or the Mr. Fantastic buff. Mr. Fantastic also has the possibility of making Deadpool free, which is obviously completely freaking insane in terms of playing it on the last turn of the game with Null. Deadpool is the most important card in the deck and nearly a snap condition alone. Please note, however, you cannot play Deadpool on Agony in for Kid Omega. I mean, you can, it's just it won't use up the Agony. You're going to have to wait another turn for that. So be forewarned, you want to use one of your other Destroy cards, your Killmonger, your Venom, your Carnage in that instance. Nico gives us a destroy to draw 2 to see all of our combos. She also has the wonderful power of making a copy of a huge Deadpool. She also can give us a +2 power on a card, again, usually Deadpool. All of those are extremely, extremely powerful. X23 gives us enough energy. The energy is important. X23 and Mr. Fantastic are here largely because we want to play Deadpool and Null on the last turn of the game. And X23 and Mr. Fantastic give us a way to do that. We've talked about Kid Omega, amazing with Deadpool. Don't be afraid to destroy a Venom either. If you've got Kid Omega in a lane where you don't think they can actually interact for whatever reason, feel free to destroy a huge Venom. If you destroy that huge Venom, that power can come back through Null. You can win lanes perfectly fine with Kid Omega and Null, although again, our goal here is Deadpool. Carnage and Venom are our extra destroy cards because we need to destroy Deadpool multiple times, as is Killmonger. Killmonger is also a great way to get extra energy out of X23 and help bring our death cost down. Fantastic is again largely here for Deadpool, but generally just the best card in Marvel Snap, should probably go in a lot of decks. Hulkbuster, again, for Deadpool, we've established this. Killmonger Venom, and then Null is our last turn play. Null is often the biggest thing in the game. If you've got like a 25 power Deadpool, you've probably got like a 50 power Null, 30, 40 power Null, and that should usually win a lane, especially because the only lane that should really have power is your Kid Omega lane, meaning you can throw Prio. And then if they're going to Shang-Chi, they often Shang the Kid Omega lane, making Null even bigger. Null and Deadpool should win other lanes, especially if you can get death cheap enough, and thanks to Killmonger and the multiple kills, we usually can. This one has a 74% win rate in 35 games. It's a monster. Again, this is the best Destroy has been since ever. The best Destroy has been since at least the very early days of X23, the month after X23 came out. That X23 was an August card 2 years ago. And then that September, there was a really, really strong X23 deck. So this is the strongest it's been since then. Turn 1, Nico Destroy is an immediate snap over X23, which is more or less equal to Agony over Deadpool. Turn 2, we want Mr. Fantastic first steps, especially if we have Deadpool in hand, over Kid Omega, over Deadpool or Hulkbuster on Deadpool. Turn 3, we're destroying Deadpool. If we played Fantastic, we can now play Kid Omega one lane, Deadpool in another, just fine. Turn 4, we're playing and destroying Deadpool and getting Kid Omega out, because this is the turn we have to. Turn 5, Kid Omega on Deadpool and another destroy, and if we've destroyed a lot by this point, we can play Death. Then turn 6, Null, Death, plus Deadpool win. Bada bing, bada boom, put up a million points in very, very difficult ways to interact with for your opponent. The only thing I wish this deck had room for that it doesn't is Frigga, because like just multiple Deadpools in this situation seems insanely strong. Although that would honestly be hard to do with the timing of Kid Omega. Maybe that's a magic list, a different list. However, this is fundamentally Destroy as Deadpool combo, and it is one of the best lists in Marvel Snap right now, today. Like, it's one of the top 10 decks. I didn't do top 10 decks this week because of the move. Unless the meta really, really shifts, I expect this to hit the top 10 next week without any kind of question. Our last chance review for Human Torch First Steps. If you somehow missed what this card does, it is a 3/2 with the end of turn ability +1 power. Once per game, if your side here is full, i.e. you filled his location, double this card's power instead. Be careful, if you fill that location on turn 5, it's going to double on turn 5, which is going to lose you, generally speaking, 2 power, but potentially more from other buffs. This card is amazing in 2 shells. It is maybe 3. I haven't actually had a chance to play the third because of the move. If you like Surfer, buy this card now. It's one of the top Surfer cards. It's an S-tier Surfer card. Go get the Human Torch First Steps if you like Surfer. The other thing is if you want to try to build the end of turn stuff, and end of turn stuff in this instance, end of turn stuff right now usually means, I just found a coconut. Sorry. End of turn stuff right now means, you're dealing with weirdness. I'm sorry. I have coconut next to me and I didn't know it. End of turn, stuff means high evolutionary for the time being. It's possible it doesn't mean that later. As of right now, if we're playing an end of turn deck, we're playing a high evolutionary deck. So if you like that type of deck, which is the type of deck we're going to look at next, you need Human Torch. The other thing is I think he's absolutely excellent in the Havoc list, the Havoc small cards list, although I'm not sure if he's necessary for those yet. That's the one I need more testing for. If you want to play those 3 lists, go get those cards. If you don't have interest in those 3 lists, skip the card. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so this is our friend Teebs' deck. Teebs is one of the great Marvel Snap content creators, commented on Golden Gauntlet 2, genuinely great tournament player and great person. Teebs created this high evolutionary end of turn list that really sings with Human Torch First Steps. The beauty of Human Torch First Steps in this list is that cards like Misty Knight and I know, Fantastic Car and Fantastic First Steps can all buff Human Torch, and every buff is doubled on this card if you fill that location. You also have a lot of ones and simple cards that can fill that location for a lot of power for Human Torch First Steps. I personally really enjoy this style of list. I've been playing a very similar list. I think I have one card different, although off the top of my head I cannot immediately remember what, because I'm not running Ross, I'm running everything else. Um, yeah, I can't immediately remember what I'm running over Ross, but like this list just puts up a crap ton of points, and it's really great. You can find Teebs at twitch.tv/Teebs. You need Fantastic Art, Torch, and Human and Torch First Steps for this version of the list, and obviously you need High Evolutionary as well. Now, very quickly before we go forward, I want to talk about Fantastic Car. I don't think people should generally buy the Season Pass Premium. Someone in the comments is going to go, oh, you tell us not to buy it, then you feature decks, how dare you? My job is to cover the metagame. People come to these videos for decks to know what's happening in Marvel Snap, to know what the best decks are in Marvel Snap. I have to have the cards to do that. I have to cover the decks that are the best. Pretending they don't exist and plugging my ears is doing my community a disservice, and that won't happen. Do I believe you should buy it? No, I do not. However, it is your money and your decision. I also don't think it makes you a bad person if you do. I think that Marvel Snap has become very expensive, although not necessarily for people in Western countries, but people in areas like Southeast Asia, where I currently live, people in places like South America, where I have a lot of family, just cannot afford to keep up with cards in Marvel Snap. Not even all the cards, it's just enough to really keep up with the meta. I think having an extra $10 is a bad decision for that. I promise you, this is something I have brought up multiple times to Second Dinner, and it's something I urge you to act upon in order to help the game and community in not buying Fantastic Car. Should you decide to buy it, of course, that is your decision that I totally respect. If you are frustrated that I feature Fantastic Car decks, of course, I totally respect and understand that, but I have to do my job in order to properly respect the community and my role within it. All right, let's talk about the actual cards here. Sunspot and Misty and Hydra Bob are all 1-drops that get buffed by 2 by Fantastic Art. We are passing a lot of energy. We're not doing the full turn She-Hulk pass, so Sunspot is good, not great here. However, just grabbing extra energy to trigger Cyclops, Misty to give yourself a chance to Bruce, to buff Hulk is all really great stuff here. Misty is a buff. Anything that buffs other cards is really useful here. Bruce will keep the buffs, and obviously Human Torch will double the buffs. That is the use of that card. Hydra Bob is just the other 1-drop that has an end-of-turn ability here. 1/6s are cards we like to play. Bruce gives us fundamentally just occasionally a 2/12. Opponents will have a hard time dealing with it and planning for it. It also will draw your Shang-Chi in ways that are often very effective for this list. Mr. Fantastic First Steps makes things cheaper and stronger, amazing with Human Torch, but that extra cheapness that he creates is very good for all the cards that care about skipping energy. That is Ross. Make sure we see a 6-drop. We do want to see a 6-drop. He is probably the least important card in the list, but we do want to make sure we see a 6-drop, and it's nice to make sure that that happens. Not a great card, but when he's a 2/4, because of Fantastic card, not a terrible one either. End of turn ability. Torch is generally really big here, right? He's the natural 3/10 that he can be from filling the location, but you can buff him with Misty, you can buff him with Fantastic Car, all these cards, and now he becomes a lane winner. A lane that has Human Torch, First Steps, and Cyclops in it often feels just one. It feels like that's a lane that's going to be very hard for your opponent to compete in, and you often won't even have to really fill that lane. You can still, but you often will not have to fill that lane, and you'll be able to really allocate resources elsewhere. There is a mild frustration if you don't get a Mr. Fantastic First Steps. You want to try and get one of your 1-drops cheaper, or your Red Hulk or Hulk cheaper with Fantastic, if humanly possible, because you want to fill that Human Torch lane on the last turn of the game, but you also want to play Red Hulk or Hulk, right? And there is a bit of a tension there. Cyclops obviously is -2. Every time you tend to be able to get Cyclops to about a 3/8 that disrupts opponents. It's very nice. Fantastic Art buffs 3/4 of the deck. Sunspot, Misty, Hydra Bob, Bruce, Fantastic First Steps, Thaddeus, Torch, Cyclops, Red Hulk, and Hulk. 10 cards. You're never going to get all 10 of those out, or it's extraordinarily unlikely you get all 10 of those out, but let's say you get 7 of those out. You've now played a 4/21. That's the frustration of making this a pay-to-win card. High Evolutionary is the cost of doing business. It's what makes Misty, Cyclops, and Hulk work in the deck. Hulk is just really big in this because you skip lots of energy, and Red Hulk sits there as a ticking time bomb for your opponents. All right, so turn 1 Misty over Sunspot over Bob. Turn 2 Fantastic over Ross over 1 or Bruce. You can choose based on your curve. Turn 3 Torch, and Torch is a snap if you think you can fill that location, particularly if you want Fantastic into Torch, because that means you should be able to get something cheap enough to be able to do the Hulk thing with a 1-drop on the last turn. Turn 3 we're going Bruce or Cyclops. Turn 4, we're going Cyclops over Fantasticar over earlier plays. Turn 5, we're going Fantasticar usually. We can also play Cyclops on a 1, so on and so forth. And turn 6, Red Hulk or Hulk. Be forewarned, sometimes you'll play a Hulk or Red Hulk on turn 5, and then you'll play a different Hulk on turn 6, thanks to Mr. Fantastic Shenanigans. There's a lot of stuff like that that this deck does with messing with energy costs. Really cool deck. Thunderbolt Ross getting Red Hulk, who then starts counting down, while you also have a Hulk in hand, is a really, really cool thing to do. Mr. Fantastic is the single most important card of this deck, in my opinion, though, so please do keep that in mind. I do want to fit Surge as well, because that 1 energy reduction on either a 1-drop or 6-drop counts for it so very, very much. That's probably my main Ross replacement here. Love this list. We're going to get back to Kid Omega in a moment, but first, please check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer, where I plan to try to be live right around when this video goes live. So if you're interested in checking that out, please do stop by twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. Our simple question here is, what is the best card in Snap right now? My opinion is Mr. Fantastic First Steps. Do you agree? Disagree? If you disagree, what do you think it is? We will also be having a travel vlog soon, as I've moved to Vietnam over the past week or so, at youtube.com/@PulseGlazer. If you'd like to hear about my thoughts and my adventures, please do stop by. Also, check out a stream at twitch.tv/you guessed it, PulseGlazer. 8 p.m. This releases at 8 a.m., right? That's 9 p.m. for me, so I might even be live a bit before this. We shall see. Either way, come hang. All right, next up, we've got Dragon's Omega Hair. This is a list that's trying to fundamentally abuse Electro, and then use Fire Hair, Kid Omega, Misery Kid Omega in order to get as many triggers as possible for various powerful abilities. It's fundamentally an old school on-reveal deck, but it works in really, really different and cool ways. You can find Dragon at twitch.tv/Dragono. The O's here are zeros. Next up, we've got Kid Omega, Firehead, Misery, or Fire Guard. Cersei can be Venom. Hood is here because we're running Misery, and we might as well. We've got Misery and Lockjaw, so we get extra hoods. We get extra demons through Firehair. Demons remain some of the best cards in the game. Kid Omega gives us the opportunity, like Misery, to on Wong. We can play Firehair on Wong, by the way, it will double. To on Wong, get extra White Tigers, get extra Ironheart triggers, get extra Electro triggers. All that is really great. Lockjaw lets us get rid of the Hood, lets us get rid of Electro, and in a pinch lets us get rid of White Tiger to find extra shenanigans. All of that is really strong. Not the best card on the list, but very good. Firehair might be the best card on the list. We destroy Electro, we get +2 energy, so we can do things like Odin and 2 demons at the end. We destroy Ironheart, we get an extra 6 power. You love to see it. Firehair is amazing. This is what we hoped for when the card came out. Ironheart is a 3/0. We can turn it into a 5-drop with Cersei. We can make it hit for extra with Odin, with Misery, with Hood. Sorry, with Kid Omega. Lots of great stuff there. You don't want to use Kid Omega with Ironheart because Kid Omega won't get the power. But hey, if you got Firehair out in a pinch, sometimes it happens. Electro is maybe the best card in the deck. It turns Kid Omega into a 1/5, but if you have Firehair, you suddenly got +2 energy. Same basic thing if you can Misery it. You can also feel free to blink it away in order to get a Cersei or Odin, or you can just, or White Tiger, or even a Misery, I guess. Or you can Cersei it and just make it a different card. A million ways to get rid of that card, as my son is messaging me from downstairs. You're going to have to check that in a minute. From there, we go to Wong. Wong is amazing, with White Tiger in particular. The other thing Wong really does is if you start destroying stuff with Firehair, Wong should trigger that. From here, and you're just going to have to wait 1 second as I let people in the apartment. Sorry, we're not going to redo the whole video. Be patient, friends. Recording. Sorry, hi. We had a quick apartment work happening as I finish up this video. Let's go relatively quickly. Blink is amazing for White Tiger, turning it into Odin fundamentally every time, which can hit our Ironheart and do other powerful things. Then we have Cersei, turn our Misery into a better card, into another card. But the card we really want to hit are Ironheart and White Tiger. Again, insane with Wong. And of course, Odin lets us double any of our important on reveals. With this deck, Dragon was able to win an infinity ticket. Hood is turn 1, Firehair on turn 2. Firehair is as good as ever here, off in a snap. Kid Omega is better than Lockjaw. Turn 3, we have Electro, if immediate way to get rid of it. Kid Omega, Lockjaw, Misery, and Cersei are those ways. I.e., if you play Lockjaw, you can immediately chuck it. If you have Kid Omega, you can immediately blow it up. Turn 4, we're getting rid of Electro or Wong, or dropping Wong. Turn 5, we're playing White Tiger or Ironheart. Sometimes we're going to drop a Misery. Turn 6, Odin or Cersei. From here, one last look at this beautiful list, and then we'll move over to our stream team. If you're interested in seeing some gameplay and my schedule's not working right now, please check out some of our wonderful friends. Today, our friend Gregor will be streaming at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested, go check out Gregor2424. Question of the day, we're actually going to skip. I'm going to answer that tomorrow, my dear friends. Please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments if you're interested. I'm going to read these names quickly so I can get off, as people are currently in my apartment. Jonesy Snap 22 is our patron of the month. Thank you to Abigail Houston, Manager Berna, Ariel, LAB, Inkai, Russell, Hotan, Everett, Fran, Brian, Ryanberg, Rainwood, Snap, Remnant, Gopher, Kev, Keltor, 33, Kertix, Lee, Corey, Kazushi, Archangel, 3K, Black Dahlia, Perfost, The Ghost Seeker, Code, Hollowed, Synth, Fat Nick, Absolute Sanded, Nightmare, Dirty Couch, Mr. Brawl, Cables, Ninja Brand, Phil, Rapper, Chapel, Kendall, Jason, The Biz of Black, TV 23, Extra Scene, Skippy Cheat, Jessica Gamma, Mr. Celeste, The King of Rose, The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Cassiota, Clam, Colonel Foreman, Rob Silverman, David G. Wingfield, Stephen Brown, Coventry, J. Martin, Jason B, Mr. Craig, Sorry, Matt B, Corey, Corbin, John Q, Jimmy Q, Yes, I see, More, But for Reals, Cactus Jack, Reacher, Steve-O, 131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro Joe, Squid Pro Joe, Snapchat Joe, Bickety Boom Bop, Bricks to Click, Green, Goblin, Unibot V2, Flom 36, Spectrum X, Food, Only Fox, Matt H, DJ Mike, Jinx, No Frame Flex, Nick the Greek Cake, Dr. Soul King, Star 74, The King of Canada, JJ, Demet, Falcon, Father Newman, Two Ties, Great Learners, The Parking Tucker, and of course, going to T, where the T stands for. That's it for today. Sorry about the end of the video getting a little hectic. Still settling in. Oh my god, the video didn't even face me for that. What are you going to do? AI, you gotta love it. I'm here. I promise. Peace out, everybody.